Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be playing with the brand new Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet palette. I actually got this like several days ago. By the time you see this video, it's probably, I've had it for almost a week. But what had happened was I filmed the entire video, the look, loved the way it came out, went to edit it, was planning to have it live like 2 days ago, and when I was editing, apparently my intro and my outro had no volume, had no sound, because the batteries in my audio recorder died. So I couldn't really post it without an intro and an outro, so today I just threw on another look, totally different look from the palette. So the good news with that is I had all but used 2 colors in the first look I created that you're going to see, and then in this look I used 2 of the colors. So I'll kind of get into that at the end of the video, but I wanted to make sure that I gave you a proper intro to the video, and you know, I created another look which I like. Totally, completely different. The other one is way deeper and smoky. But if I posted this look with the other one on the thumbnail, which I think I probably will, I don't want to be clickbaity because that's not my style. I did not do this look in this video, just so you know. If you want to see this look, I can do it on Instagram. Just leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you would like to see this look. But I will get into what's on my face at the end of the video. So let's just jump in. If you guys would like to see this palette in action, swatches, see me create a look, and hear my thoughts, then keep on watching. Okay, so let's get this party started, yeah? So here is the box, the exterior box, and on the back it shows you the shades. It does come with a brush, all of the palettes do, except for Reloaded. Reloaded did not come with a brush, actually, which is kind of interesting. The cover art is, it looks like maybe a purple geode of some sort, or like makeup in oil or something, you know, like, I don't know. It's really, really pretty though, I will say. It has like some flashes of like metallic blue in there. And then here is the palette itself. It's the same artwork as the box. The palette itself is a hard plastic. It's very similar to Naked. I pulled out some of these other palettes so we could compare them. It's very similar to the Naked packaging. And the honey was different, totally different. And Reloaded was totally different. This one was like a soft, satiny, squishy packaging. This one was hard. It was hard, but it was more like, I don't know, textured, I guess. It didn't have like the clear plastic, like glossy overlay on it, the way that this one and the way Heat did. So, let's open her up. Well, first let me pull out some details on the card. So, it says, Meet Naked Ultraviolet Eyeshadow Palette, a burst of 12 highly saturated purple neutrals that add a powerful pop of color to any eye look. This bold ode to our signature color is the definition of what we stand for, celebrating the unconventional, igniting and uninspired, taking 90s nostalgia to the next level. Launched on June 12th at UrbanDecay.com and Sephora.com. July 5th, it's going to be in stores at Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, Nordstrom, and QVC. Urban Decay is now going to be available at QVC, really? I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, so when you open it up, here she is. This is the brush, and I actually wanted to compare it to the other brushes because they're always different, fun fact, and the brushes in these palettes are actually awesome. So Heat, Honey, and Ultraviolet, Reloaded did not come with a brush. Okay, so Heat had like kind of a dense blending on one side, and then like a skinny flat blender slash shader kind of hybrid on the other side. So this one is Heat, and this one's like pretty fluffy. And then Honey, which was like one of my favorites. This one, which needs to be cleaned, it's a little bit thicker. And then the end is kind of like a shader, but also could be a smudger. And then Ultraviolet has a tapered blender, and then the other end is like a pencil brush. It's like a dome-shaped pencil brush. Which, the thing that I think, and I don't know if this is actually the reasoning behind it, but it would make sense to me, is that if you were a collector of these palettes, you would then have all these different brushes, because none of them are the same. So you would have like a collection of brushes as well. So I think that's kind of clever if that's what the thought process was. And if it wasn't, that's okay, because it's still a good idea. I will say that this brush does say Naked Honey on it. The Heat brush does not say anything on it. And the Ultraviolet just says Naked on it. So there is that. Now my favorite of all the Naked palettes is by far Reloaded. I did a ranking video a while back, maybe last year, and I did rank Heat as #1. But since filming that video, I have definitely sort of fell in love with Reloaded. And if I were ranking them now, which maybe I will, redo it, like do a part 2 now that Ultraviolet's in the picture, I would definitely say that this one is my favorite by far. This is the most used palette of all of them. This shade here is like about to hit pan. This is my favorite neutral palette of all time, in my collection, and my favorite of all of the Naked palettes. But let's get back to the girl of the hour. You might be wondering why purple if this is a Naked series, and I will say, and I saw some people criticizing the fact that there were neutrals in here, and I'm like, it's a Naked series, so it's supposed to be neutrals. And the purples only make up half of the palette, and then the other half is neutrals, and then you have this shade called Lucid, which is holographic in the middle. So most of the purple shades, with the exception of one, are shimmery. Actually, no, I take that back. So there is a matte lavender, and then this pinky magenta sort of purple is a satin, and then the rest, these three here, are shimmer, and then this one here at the end is like kind of a deep purple, like almost blacky browny shade, but it has like a purple undertone to it, and that one looks like it is also satin. Yeah. So the great thing about the satins is you can really use those in the crease very easily. Aside from that, the purples are very shimmery, so you can play with shimmer in the crease if you want, but it's interesting that the purples are mostly deeps. And then you have this shade here, which is kind of like it's almost like a topper. It's like a glitter topper, sort of. And that's called VR, and then we have Lucid, that's a holographic. I am going to insert swatches. I did swatch these outside in sunlight. And they swatched beautifully. I am a huge Urban Decay fan. Some of my Holy Grail products are from Urban Decay. I have been a huge fan of those for a long time. I've talked about them endlessly on this channel. I've reviewed so many Urban Decay products on this channel, and I continue to support and love the brand. I got to go to their headquarters. I toured their offices and their studios, and the team is so sweet, and the offices are just amazing, so inspiring. Like, if I wasn't doing this as a job, like working for them would be like a dream job. So I'm gonna create a look, obviously, today. I have so many ideas, but I'm only gonna do one look in this video just because I'm also filming IG and TikTok, and I want to get this video up for you like ASAP because I didn't get to film it yesterday and I've had the palette now for like 2 days. I have an idea, but I feel like most of you probably want to see how the purples perform. I decided I'm going to try to do a look that incorporates as many shades as I can. And I'll go for like the more purple looks, and I'm sure probably everybody is doing that. But I'm going to do that just so that you guys can really like get a feel for the palette. And then if you want to see more looks from this palette, you can just let me know. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to see me do more. Because like I said, I have a lot of ideas, like very inspired by this palette. And after swatching it, there's like a lot you can do. So I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. And I am going to actually attempt to use this brush a bit as well. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this, but the palette is $49. And the only place you can get it right now is Sephora.com. I think I said that right. All right, so I am going to go ahead and take the brush, the fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Hacked, which is this kind of mauve-y tone shade, and this is like it's like a brownie mauve. I did set my lids. I primed them with a concealer, and I set them already. So I'm just using the fluffy end of the brush, and I'm just gonna kind of sweeping that all over. I haven't done eyeshadow in this way in quite a while, like laid down my transition shade first, but I just feel like I want to today. I kind of want to do something like blown out, but we'll see. That's really pretty. Alright, so next I'm going to take the shade Digital, which is the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm taking that on my trusty Morphe brush. I actually cleaned my brushes the other day, so I'm glad that I did. Pretty! I have no fallout right now, which is pretty crazy because that is a dark ass shade. I think I'm actually gonna take it pretty far. Alright, so I'm gonna take that brush and wipe it off with the color switch, and I am going to go into Warning, which is the pinky satin color. It's like a kind of a fuchsia. And I'm going to use that on the edges. And again, this is a satin shade, which the beauty of a satin shade is it's, you know, it's kind of interchangeable. You could use it on the lid or the crease. So I'm just stamping it along the edges. This shade is one that you need to like build. It doesn't come off like super pigmented all at once. It's definitely manageable, but I feel like that's the case with a lot of times with Urban Decay shadows. They're not overly pigmented like the way ABH's shadows are, but they also don't have as much fallout. They're pressed a little bit harder. So this part right here looks a little bit patchy, but I'm gonna blend it out and that'll probably go away. Now I do see a little bit of fallout. Oh no. Alright, I'm taking this clean fluffy brush. I actually already started doing it, so that's why it looks like there's shadow on it. This is from Il Makiage, and this is their duo fiber blending brush. I am obsessed with this. I love me a duo fiber brush anyway, but I love this brush for like really blowing out. Well, blending the crease, one, but just blowing it all out. It just diffuses the shadow so beautifully. I will say, like, Il Makiage brushes are like, they give me MAC vibes, except even higher quality. Like, the actual handle of the brush. It's very heavy and substantial, I feel like, compared to most brushes. And the bristle, it's just very high quality. Alright, so now that I've blended, I can see that there's some patchiness I'm going to have to go in and fix. Now, purples tend to be patchy. Like, purples are hard. So, not really surprising that I'm going to have to, you know, play a little bit here. I'm going to have to work for it a little bit. That's really pretty long. So I'm going to go ahead back in with digital, the deep shade, and I'm going to fill in where it's patchy and then buff it out. I am going to take a flat brush, my Luxie trusty concealer brush. I'm going to go into the shade Purple Rain, I think it is. Purple Dust. Purple Dust. This second to last shade there. I'm going to apply it to the lid, like halfway. Ooh, that's a really rich color. It's really pretty. Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm going to wipe off my brush on my color switch, and I'm going to take Euphoric. I'm just moving on down the row, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the rest of the lid. Ooh, this shade is falling out. She's a falling out. Big time. Actually going to spray this. I just want to see what it does when it's wet. Ooh, yeah. That's pretty. Alright, so going back in with the brush that came with the palette, I'm actually going to take Purple Dust, and I'm going to take it on the pencil dome side. And I'm going to go along the lower lash line at the outer quarter, just to tie the lower lash line in with the outer corner there. Yeah, it's probably better to do this before your foundation, because I am getting fallout now. Which, I mean, it's really not, it's purple palette, so. We'll go in and fix it after. And I just wiped that brush off with my color switch, and I'm actually going to take Cyberpunk. It's almost like the Urban Decay purple. And I'm going to buff out. I'm kind of going over the dark purple and taking it the rest of the way. I'm just doing this because I'm trying to use as many shadows as I can from the palette. With my finger, I am going to go in with VR, which is, I think this is like a glitter topper. It has a pink undertone to it, but when I swatched it, it was very sheer. And I'm just gonna press it on top of the lid, just to give me some added shimmer, like glittery vibes. Oh yeah, it just adds like dimension. I mean, not that it needs dimension. The shades, like Euphoria, it's like a duochrome, like purpley blue. But this is a really pretty shade. I wonder how it would look wet. Let's try. I'm gonna pick some up with my brush and just give her a squirt. Oh yeah, even more wet. Wow. I feel like it wouldn't be right to not try out this shade Lucid. So I feel like I'm gonna do that in my inner corner. And I'm gonna wet this as well. Ooh. Wow. I don't even really I don't even really know what to say. That's so beautiful. Honestly, like that shade is a game changer. Wow. All right, so I have used every shade except for the last 3, but I am going to actually clean up my crease with Trippin', which is this shade here, which is kind of an ivory bone shade. And I'm just going to pop that on my brow bone. Just to help things look a little more blended. And also, obviously, highlight my brow bone. And that'll fix anything that didn't look that blended. And then I'm going to take this clean blending brush and I'm just gonna go over it. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the shadow there. I'm gonna go ahead and do some liner. Actually, no, I take it back. I am going to pop in my favorite alkaline from Urban Decay liner. I use this all of the time. And I'm just putting it in the outer third. Actually, no. I'm gonna go all the way in. Why not? Go big or go home. Just in that mood today. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my mascara, my lashes, and all that, my lipstick on. And I will be right back to show you the finished look. Oh yeah. Okay. Here we are. This is the finished look, and living. I'm obsessed with how it came out. I just don't even know what else to say. I love it. I love it. It's just like very diffused and blown out. You almost can't see where like one color stops and the other one starts, which I love. I rarely do looks like that, like super monochromatic and blown out like that, but I love it. I think it's so pretty, and the pop in the inner corner is just, it's killing me. I love it. It's so edgy, it's so beautiful, and wow, what a cool palette. What's on my face? I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation on, which is my holy grail, and I have it mixed with L'Oreal Pro Glow, and I have a couple of glowy products. I have a cream highlight on underneath the Wet n Wild I'm So Lit loose highlighter. That's why my skin looks as glowy as it does, despite, I mean, Urban Decay All Nighter is a matte foundation. I put the Pro Glow in it. It gives it more of a natural finish, and then adding some glowy products on top makes it not look matte at all. But it gives me that long wear and the waterproofness, which it's 108 degrees outside, so crucial at this time of the year for me. Concealer is also waterproof. It is the L'Oreal Infallible, the Fresh Wear Concealer. And then bronzer, I've got a couple of things on. I've got a cream bronzer on that's discontinued. It is the Pure Love Yourself You bronzer. And then I have my Fenty on top. My blush is the Benefit Georgia blush. And let's see, my lip is, it's Urban Decay 1993, which is almost dead. But I just wanted to, in the spirit of Urban Decay, use as many Urban Decay products as possible. So I used that with my Safe Word lipstick. And I did use their Brow Blade on my brows with my Benefit gel. And what other Urban Decay? Ooh, and I used my powder. Where is it? the Ultimate Brush Off Powder, which I always use in my videos. It's my favorite Holy Grail powder. There are so many Urban Decay products that are like staples for me. And now I have a purple palette that I can't even, I'm dying. I love this look and I have nowhere to go and I'm pissed about it. I'm gonna take so many pictures for the gram right now because I love it. Okay, so my thoughts on the palette. Let's discuss. Love the brush. Brush works fantastic. So A+ for the brush. The honey brush was my favorite to date. It still is, but like this one is equally as good quality wise. It's just like more of a shape thing, although I really like this blender. This is like any other pencil brush, but this blender, the tapered blender, is really nice as well. The shadows. Okay, so I used every shadow in here except for two, which were the two peachy shades, which, I mean, this palette isn't about peach, right? Although Naked Peach. I think they should do green next, but Naked Peach isn't a bad idea. When I reviewed Honey, I called it with the purple. I said either purple or green next. And here they are with the purple. We should have known since that is their signature color. All of the shades in here are unique and different, but are beautiful in their own right. So, you know, purples tend to be patchy, and I did have to like really work to blend this color out. This is the deepest color in the palette, so not really surprised, to be honest. And I think that this shade is more meant for, you know, creating depth and dimension, and I went in the crease with it. But nonetheless, I mean, I just had to work for it, that's all. I mean, as you can see, it looks beautiful now. It looks perfectly blended and amazing. And then this shade Warning here, it looks like a bold ass shade, but it takes a minute to build it up. Like, it's not as intimidating as it looks in the pan. And I think that's kind of the case for most of them. I mean, they don't come off like ridiculously pigmented where you're like, holy shit, that's going to be hard to work with. They're very easy to work with. Very, very different than ABH shadows, which, like I said, are very soft and powdery. These are pressed much harder, so to get that same level of color payoff, you just have to build it. And that is pretty much where my sound died. Mid-sentence, and so I didn't have a proper outro. But that said, I did get to use the two peachy shades that I said that I didn't use. And I actually don't even know if I used this little lavender shade too, but obviously today I did. I used these two shades and the lavender shade Optimized, and I also used Cyberpunk in this look right here. I want to just go over what other products are on my face today. I will post this look on Instagram, probably. So look out over there. There's a couple of products that I tried out today. So my foundation is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. My concealer is Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue. That's pretty standard. I always use that concealer. My bronzer. So I have this Revlon Ashley Graham Tropical Vibes Face and Body bronzer on, and then on top of that is my Fenty Sunstalker bronzer. And then for blush and highlight, I actually just got this in the mail from The Balm. It's called Will Powder Blush Quad, but it does have a highlight in it, and they did actually, they have brand new recycled packaging this summer. This is a summer release of theirs, and this is the palette. So I'll probably mention this in another video, but it's what's on my face right now. My brows are Benefit. The liner that I have on, it is from Rimmel. It is their Wonder Swipe 2-in-1 liner to shadow. That is this color right here. It's this really cool like indigo, like bluish purplish color. And the way it dries down is so interesting, but this video isn't about that, but I did just want to mention that I do have that along the lash line. My lip is L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Lip Liner in Matting Call, which is the Brownie Nude, and the Patent Paint Lip Lacquer from MAC and the shade is Patent Pleasure. I like never wear gloss, but I thought like it was good to like go with a little pop of peach in the center of my lid. Lashes are House of Lashes. I think that's it. So I did just want to make mention, oh, and I'm also testing out a brand new setting spray. It's Your Skin But Better setting spray from It Cosmetics. Testing that out as well. But anyway, so that is what is on my face for this look right here. Again, I'll probably post this on Instagram. I'm about to take pictures, so if they come out good, then they'll be on Instagram. But that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you never miss when I upload a video. You can follow me on social. My handle's @GlamLatte. And don't forget the Glam Latte Beauty Podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, CastBox, and iHeartRadio. All those details are in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
I just wanna hold